Welcome to in Kalispell, Montana. Yes, I'm giving you the address because my team will just edit it anyway.
Why do you do this to me?
One thing I'm going to give you right out of the gate is I'm going to give you the final settlement statement showing that we bought this property Subto seller finance, what is known as a hybrid creative finance deal. Now, you're going to want to pull out your pen and paper on this deal. You're going to want to take notes on this deal because an agent got paid, a deal finder got paid, and the seller got the number that they couldn't get on the market. We bought a property for $500,000. I have no credit pulled on this, none of my own personal cash, no bank was communicated to whatsoever because we bought it with creative finance, part Subto, part seller finance. So down in the description down below, I'm gonna give you the settlement statement so you can see exactly how much money I bought the property for, who got paid, what they got paid, etc. Today, you're gonna see why an agent would do creative finance, what a seller would do, and why they do seller finance, and why did Landon, my student in Subto, why did he end up selling this deal to me and how much money he made. This is an action-packed episode. Pull out your pen and paper, share it with a friend because it answers so many questions. Let's get into the video. First time visiting a property here in Kalispell, Montana that I closed on 2 days ago. Bought it subject to from Landon Moore, one of our community members in Subto, one of our leaders. He's unbelievable. And I'm blown away. I'm so happy about the location. Hopefully Eric will get some great B-roll shot of you guys seeing what do we got around here? The new high school, all the shopping, all the apartments that are going up. This property is unbelievable. I thought I bought a piece of with a great interest rate, but I bought a piece of crap with a great interest rate that can be turned into something that's amazing. So this property, half Subto, half seller finance, 2.5% across the board. I wired to title, including your assignment fee. Come on in here, Landon.
Yeah.
I wired your assignment fee was 10 grand.
Yep.
I think I wired 45 grand to the deal.
Yep, all in.
What'd the seller get?
30,000 down payment
30?
towards the seller finance portion.
And then the agent got paid how much?
I think 12 grand.
Okay, so I'm probably 57 grand. I was all in, 57,000, closing costs, transaction coordination. Agent got 15, seller got
30K down.
30K down, you got 10 grand.
Yep, so she got 10% down on her equity.
And the total purchase price is 500,000?
Yep, 503.
503 at 2.5%. My payment is how much?
$3,000 flat.
How's that structured?
$2,000 on the debt service, on the mortgage payment, $1,000 on the seller finance portion.
So this seller will get $1,000 a month for how many years?
30 years.
She seller finance for 30 years.
30 years.
Congratulations. So, amazing structure. This is a great deal. I rolled into the neighborhood expecting to see a piece of crap because I hate split floor houses.
Yeah.
And I'm blown away by the neighborhood. I'm blown away by the house across the street and what they did. How much did they sell for? It's the same floor plan.
700K.
700K. So there's opportunity here if I put money into it.
That was 7 months ago.
So I could flip this and probably make $50,000 to maybe $100,000 on this property. And I'm all in right now. $57,000 is what I wired. That money did not come from me. It came from my private money lender, Debbie. Debbie wired the money. So I'm in the deal, no money. And we'll break down all the benefits and we'll walk through the property and see what I would need to do for construction. And we've got a lot of people here. We got the agent is actually coming that you worked with, right?
Yeah, the agent who sold us this deal, yeah.
How did you get in touch with this deal?
By buying another deal with this agent. She brought it to me.
Okay, so
One
guys,
of her other listings.
We did a whole YouTube video about that at Landon's Airbnb. He bought subject to VA loan, 2.5% interest. You built a relationship with the agent.
Yep.
The agent also had this property listed at the same time or later?
Same time, and it was more days on market. It was 75 days on market and starting to grow. We're heading to winter, and so they're wanting to sell.
What did you try to buy from her originally that was not the house?
The hot tub right there. I wanted to buy that hot tub for our other place, for our Airbnb. And so she said the only way you can do that is if you buy the house.
So we bought a hot tub and got a house that came with it. That's basically. So you wanted to buy the hot tub.
Yeah.
She said, nope, it's got to go through the house. You go, great, let's set up terms. Yep. You had already built up a great relationship with Chelsea.
Yep.
On the other house, you overcame all the creative finance elements on that house.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to talk to the seller on this house, Chelsea basically did the majority of the work.
Yeah, she disarmed the seller entirely.
Because you educated her on how all this stuff on the first house.
Yeah, so all the questions the seller had, she immediately went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Chelsea was able to answer every one of those questions because I educated Chelsea, I helped Chelsea, did the whole thing. Three-way phone call was 15, 20 minutes, led into setting up the terms, writing up the purchase contract, and opening up escrow.
Guys, I'm going to tell you why I think buying single-family homes is better than buying a business. Think about this. I bought it a couple of days ago, which is why Landon and all of us are here. Pan to these boys, and we got Marco, we got Chris, we got Anthony Fleming, Kalispell local. Born in Kalispell?
Born in Seattle.
Don't tell people that.
Born in Kalispell.
Edit that.
We got Dan, we got Jordan Reyes, we even got Kevin Cho.
Look at Kevin Cho.
O'Shea.
Chelsea O'Shea, come here, Chelsea.
She-
Woo! Chelsea O'Shea.
Pace.
Yeah, I'm Pace.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Great job on this house.
Thank you.
You like working with Landon, I imagine?
Yeah, we make a good team, I think.
That's right,
Yeah.
100%.
Was it fun working with him on that other house?
Yeah, it was a great time. It was really seamless, went smooth.
Solved the seller's problem?
Yeah, absolutely.
How great is creative finance?
It's amazing. Like, it's a whole new world.
Dude, as an agent, just like, forget that you're on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So as an agent, how long were you working just traditional?
3 years?
3 years. And Anthony, you
He's
brought...
my team lead, so.
Anthony, come in here, brother. Let's get you on here. People need to know who Anthony
No.
Fleming is. Come on, brother. So
He's my person.
he's one of my people too. Okay, so you were born here. You
Yep.
became an agent 3 years ago. You joined Anthony's team immediately.
Not right away. I was an agent for about 6 months and then joined his team and been with him ever since.
He's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's literally my reason to keep going in this business. Like,
How's that feel, dude?
I've never heard her say that before.
well,
Pretty cool.
he gets really awkward when I compliment him. So.
Yeah, I same thing here. He like his skin crawls when I talk about him. Okay, so 3 years, all traditional. You get Landon that calls you. Obviously, Anthony is in our community as well as somebody that knows creative finance. But Landon calls you on that deal that you had listed, and creative finance was the thing that really solved that seller's problem, right?
Yes. Yep. It was huge.
And you walked away getting paid commissions, and you're like, oh my gosh, the seller won, the buyer won.
My seller walked away with more than they would have if we had done a traditional deal at that point.
How stoked was the seller?
They were pretty stoked. I know that it took a little bit of conversations and things like that, and it was like divine intervention because Landon actually ended up by chance and circumstance meeting my client in Phoenix, and they went and had a beer together. And,
At Mellow Mushroom.
yeah, and so that
Amazing.
was like really wild timing.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
But because everything lined up and my sellers are amazing and they're really
Yeah.
faith-based, they just felt like this was just the right time, right place, right everything. So it was huge.
Okay, so seller, what were his biggest objections on that deal that Landon bought?
Just being tied to the loan still in that sense, you know, that they're not free and clear of it as you are in a traditional sale. But
Seems more like a mental thing, I think. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to get rid of the house. It's like, well, you are.
Well, I think part of it too is just like, not in a negative stigma saying this word, but uneducation.
Right.
Like, none of us really know what that is. When Landon first called, I was like, well, I'm going to vet you out with my team lead and my title office.
That's right.
And I did. I didn't even present him to my seller until I talked to Anthony
I get a
first.
random text from a random number that says, hey, do you have a minute for a chat? Are you looking to do a sub two? Hop on the phone.
But I put that, so you know.
And I was like, wait, hold on here.
Yeah, where's my hat?
He's like, I'm in sub two.
Are
And
you
I'm
trying
like,
to buy our house?
all right, we're good now. We're good
Yeah.
now. I got family. So
That's
it worked out.
amazing.
It was amazing.
So you called, you vetted him, you wanted to make sure that when you presented this to the seller was going to sell this to somebody that could actually make the payments
And perform, yeah.
and
And that it
perform.
wasn't just some pipe dream. Like, oh, we have this maybe idea. Let's go ahead and get excited about it for no good reason. Like, I don't want to hype up my clients for no reason.
Did you feel like when you first learned about Subto and these types of structures that it's like too good to be true to some degree?
Not really, because there are aspects of real estate that I feel are too good to be true sometimes. Like, and that's just the world we live in. But I will say, like, mine was blown. Like, there were so many different aspects that Landon was introducing me to, and that Anthony had already been looking into himself. So when I went to him with it, it was like, hey, what's this? And so then I had multiple people being able to explain stuff to me, which was amazing, because I'm definitely not here at once and got it. No.
Right.
Well, now we're looking for a house for you
Yeah,
right now.
in Florida.
Buying
Yeah.
creative finance.
Yeah.
Why Florida?
Because I don't know. You
If
don't
you're
want this
born
on
here, you
there.
can't leave here. What are
I
you
don't
talking
like
about?
it here.
Oh yeah?
So we're gonna
I
find
don't
our
know if you
house.
want that on there.
She likes the sun.
Well, and the weird thing is that within, I think it was about 48 hours of getting Landon's call, I got 2 or 3 other people calling me to do the same thing. And
You know what? Community camp. Everyone's hitting up Kalispell
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, makes sense.
right before at
so,
least.
but and even since then, I've had two other agents call me and be like, I see that you've been doing these deals. What's the deal? And is it real? And
You should do an agent class here in Kalispell and teach all the agents and just bring in the deals. Okay, so Landon and you do that deal, which, guys, if you haven't seen that video, go watch that video. Landon and I talked about that house.
Seller's final objection. Super interesting. You'll love this.
On that house.
On that house over there.
Okay.
His concern was, what if I walk away in 4 years and he walks into and gets the house back and he can't turn around and sell again, and he's back in the same situation of no equity in his mind, okay?
Wow.
And so the conversation of a balloon came up, okay, in his eyes. But his interpretation of what a balloon meant, if I were to do a 10-year balloon, is that I would accelerate the payment so much so that at that 9th year,
be paid
11th
off.
payment, it would be paid off by the 10th year. I said that's not how a balloon works.
So like now I got a $12,000 payment.
Can't make that work. But also too, we were really trying to figure out like what's the pain there, what's the motivation for that. So I was going through like, I don't think giving you more money at close of escrow is going to solve that problem. You agree? He goes, I agree. And I go, adding a balloon doesn't change the payment structure, doesn't do anything. It just gives me a shot clock that I have to go and sell this thing in 10 years. So what we ended up doing actually is, to make him happy, I'm just making an additional $100 per month principal payment every single month on top of the payment. So no balloon, just an additional $100 a month principal payment.
Wow.
And just,
Yeah, because if you look at that, the math runs out. If you're just paying $100 towards the principal, you pay that house down so much quicker.
so much quicker.
You'll have so much more equity in it. Interesting objection.
yeah, and he did great. I loved that. So it was great because my seller, they're very intelligent people. So when we were presenting them with this information, it wasn't like we were speaking Greek to them, which was very, very helpful. But it was really great that Landon was able to kind of research his own brain and come up with some other options that were really getting to the heart of
The problem.
what's the problem.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about working with agents, it's really hard. Not you guys, obviously. But as an investor, if you're trying to have a relationship with the seller where the problem actually is sitting, a lot of times the agent is like, what does any of that matter? The price of the house is the price of the house. What does it matter what's going on with my seller? It's like, well, if you understand the objections, the issues, the bunnies, the problems that they're going through, you can actually provide a solution that otherwise wouldn't have been provided. So kudos to you for saying, hey, how do we figure this out?
Thank you.
Yeah, you crushed it.
No, 100%. Even just kudos to you from the standpoint in transitioning to this property of how it bled into the conversation with the seller here. That's huge.
And she's thrilled too. So like just making people happy everywhere we go.
That's right. That's
Amazing. How long was this property listed before you guys presented Subto
I
opportunity?
think it was close to 3 months.
Yeah, it was 90, I think.
Yeah.
90 days. And she was stressing out a little bit?
Well, she was eager to start her new life. She has a man friend over in Jersey, so she was ready
Motivation.
to. Yep, she was ready to leave, and she
Winter's
didn't want to live
coming.
here anymore.
Yeah.
Not,
She got a
just-
hottie up
there's
in
history,
New Jersey.
so
Yeah.
she didn't want to be here anymore
Okay, why didn't she take her hot tub?
because he wanted it.
That's so you had the listing. He basically reached out to you and was like, hey, how would I buy this hot tub?
Yeah, he wanted the hot tub for our previous
Yeah,
deal,
yeah.
and she was like, well, if whoever is buying it doesn't want it, then I'd be willing to do that. But obviously time is of the essence. He's trying to get the house up on
Yeah,
Airbnb
I was
and
up
everything.
against,
So the waiting game wasn't going to work there. But that's when we kind of started talking about like, okay, well, the hot tub stays here if you want to buy this one.
Right.
instead.
house.
Okay, so you got paid your full commission on the other deal?
Yes,
And your full commission here?
just about. We had to negotiate just a little bit, but it worked out.
How much did you get paid on this deal?
3%.
3%. Minus what?
It was a 3.5% listing agreement
I paid
because
2.5.
we take all of the marketing costs and the Facebook posts and the boosting and all that
Do you
stuff.
get paid on that as a team lead?
Yeah.
That's great. So you got paid here.
Yeah.
He's the reason I have.
You and I have done a deal together now, dude.
Awesome. Thank you guys for buying the last 2 houses.
Yes, you've done a deal with Landon. You've done a deal with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Oh, thanks.
So she's off in New Jersey. Property just closed. What do you think I should do with this property? I've got a payment at $3,000. I love the area. It's phenomenal. And the house across the street sold in March for $700,000. But they extended. I think they bumped out a little bit in the back and put a breakfast nook in the front.
And
Super
they
cute.
remodeled and yeah, like
They put a couple $100,000 in probably.
My aunt knew that this house needed work. And that was another reason that this was super beneficial for her, is because she really didn't want to do anything else.
Right.
Like, she'd lived here with her husband who passed away, and she was like, I'm done. Like, my kids are grown, they're in college, they're out. I don't want to do anything to it anymore. And I was like, that's understandable. But I mean, ultimately, if it was all dolled up, and it would be an amazing rental for a family. We still have California money coming in, so.
How much do you think I could rent this for? How could we find that out?
I mean, it's 5 bedrooms, 4 or 5 bedrooms, so I mean.
You think I could rent this for three grand?
Yeah, well,
I would say 42.
have you guys looked?
She says 4,200, bro.
That seems high.
Yeah, it seems high.
I don't know, because
Maybe
we have.
maybe 35.
We got a
We
deal.
have
12-month
townhomes.
lease with you, $4,200.
Yeah, okay. Hold
She'll
your
rent it out
horses.
for you.
Yeah, I'll find you.
Property
Find
manager.
you somebody.
Okay, so will you guys help me find rental comps? I'll probably just rent this out. Who could manage this for me?
Have you looked into like the midterm rental type stuff around here?
Yeah, I mean, you got Logan.
Full.
Logan Hospital,
Yeah.
tons of travel nurses. We're listing actually that other house on Furnish Finders.
Yeah.
There's
That would be a really great option.
there's
for this
10
too, 'cause it's so central.
10 active nurses looking for
Who's
homes
going to
right
manage
now.
your property here?
Me.
You want to manage this one?
Sure. If you do midterm rental, yeah.
If I end up doing midterm rental
But that's going to cost you another 20.
for furniture and
Yeah.
all, that's
It's a
fine.
big house.
I'm just going to sit on this house for 15 years.
Yeah.
You
Seems
know.
like a good option.
But what's great too is if you did furnish it, next year for community camp, you have another home that you could house people.
That's true.
You get a lot of other companies too that want to rent
Yeah,
out.
corporate stuff, construction work.
So if it's furnished, that seems like the way to go.
Interesting. If I could find out, I mean, if I could rent this thing for $3,500 a month, that seems high even.
No, I'd say that's definitely on par. I think 42 definitely is reaching at the top of the spectrum, but based on what I know, like I live in an area that have single families and townhomes, and the townhomes, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, are renting for like 25, 28. And it's a townhome. This has a massive yard. It has a pool. It has a hot tub. It has tons of bedrooms. You even have the option of having a separate rental right there if you wanted it. So.
Okay, so here's what I want to do for this video. The point of this is like Landon did such a great job building a relationship with an agent that you'll do multiple deals with Landon, right? You guys will continue to send him deals and opportunities. And I mean, one agent shouldn't equal one deal. One agent should equal 10 deals a year.
Did 2 in 2 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or 1 month.
Okay, so now that you know these things exist, in your mind, do you look at expired listings or other agents' listings and start calling them and saying, hey, I've got an investor that will buy these types of deals?
It's certainly changing the game and how you look at everything. Where before it was kind of more clear cut of, okay, it expired, or no, they pulled it from the market, or like they pulled it from the market. Okay, why? Could we not make everybody happy? And so it definitely does change the narrative in your own mind.
Because as an agent without creative finance, as an agent, correct me if I'm wrong, you look at an expired listing as you're like, either that agent completely sucked or the seller just wanted too high of a price and the market couldn't bear it. And there's nothing I as an agent am going to be able to do unless I'm just a better agent. There's no extra tools you can bring to the table, right? So now you look at an expired listing and you go, I can solve a problem that nobody else understands exists. So does your office now start thinking about doing outreach on expired listings a little bit different than just trying to get a listing?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Amazing. Do you know how many expired listings are in this whole valley?
Not a lot. They sell usually.
Really?
I don't know. I stopped looking at them a long time ago.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Usually sells.
Anthony's gonna pull the expired listings list. I'm gonna put the number at the end of the video. And I want you guys to guess how many, what is this valley called? What do we call this valley?
Flathead Valley.
Flathead Valley, that includes Whitefish, Columbia, Kalispell, Big Fork, everything?
Yep.
All the way to the bottom of Flathead?
Correct.
That's called Flathead Valley.
Yep.
Can you pull how many expired listings are in this area? I can't because it's a non-disclosure.
Can you do
In
that
what,
for me?
in the last month?
Last 30 days.
Okay. I'm going to say less than 100.
Really? What's your guess? I'm going to guess,
150, 175.
I'm going to guess 200.
Okay.
All right, let's go through the property. I'd love to get your guys' perspective on if I was gonna rent this out, what would I need to do to the property?
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, you lead the way, you know the house.
He was living out here, and so it stayed really nice and warm. He had kind of finished it out himself and everything, so there's definitely a lot of possibility in here. She shed, he shed, what, you know, whatever.
Okay. This is a very like Idaho, Utah, Montana thing, is that nobody finishes off their garages.
Yeah, Oregon is the same thing. It's always just
Arizona's like you
mud and
drywall, you paint, you finish
texture, everything.
You're a
The
weirdo.
builders are starting to do it now.
Yeah, it's
They
like
have been for a few years, but
that's good. Okay, so what's the deal with the radiant heat in this freaking town? Like, why can't y'all just get a heat pump with vents?
Well, so this house was built in the 80s, so we're talking circa 80s technology.
I mean, we had heat pumps back then.
yeah.
This is very much a Montana thing. I just am learning. Like, this is normal for you guys.
Yeah, split levels and,
In the old
and
homes.
electric baseboard.
They're like, how do we avoid having vents? It's
I
like
guess.
your house that you just did, you had to put mini units, splits.
Splits.
Which are super nice.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, way better
Hyper
than
efficient.
this.
SEER ratings are super high.
Yeah.
Where radiant
AC.
heating is so expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was gonna rent this house, flooring, baseboards, this drives me wild, but I don't think a renter's gonna care if I have a step down. I don't need to open up the wall if I'm gonna rent it. Do people want the fire stove, the wood stove?
Yeah.
That's like a
That's
cool
the
thing,
primary
right?
heat source. That's going to be a cheaper heat source than the radiance.
And it's, I don't know if you're familiar with wood heat at all, but it's a different kind of heat. Like, it really just hugs your whole body.
Really?
So it's a pain in the but I don't like dealing with firewood, I don't like messes, and
Yeah.
I like sun. So if I'm using that, then I'm probably cold.
She doesn't really have any like drywall damage or anything like
No,
that.
she had it painted. She had these windows.
This is before you listed it, or what?
No, so.
In
let's
years
see,
past.
We waited to list it until these windows got done. So these are brand new windows, and that's a brand new slider as well. She had painted the trim and done that. She'd stripped the floors down, and upon my advice, I was like, strip the floors down, because she was like, should I replace it? I'm like, God, no, it's hardwood floor. So she did strip them down, but
And she did not seal them, so I have to resand them again.
she was on the fence about what to do, and I'm like, you know, Mayan, like, at this point in the game, maybe we should just wait until we had a buyer on the table.
And then ask them what they want. Yeah.
Because she could stain them dark and they wanted light. And it can just be anybody's game in that way, so.
I got hardwood floors, Eric. Sick. Did she do, this carpet's not that old, but it's definitely not new.
It's definitely not new, and
Oh, it's got dog pee. Yeah, for sure, okay.
It's outdated,
Yeah, it's not too bad.
but it's workable.
Probably $5,000, I could get a new everything here, new vanity, new toilet, new floor, can light, better fan. Okay, new carpet.
Got 3 bedrooms up here.
Okay, so how does this room get heated? Oh,
Baseboard.
my gosh. Montana, man, what's up with that?
You already got your bed frame for the midterm rental, dude.
Yeah, perfect.
It's not at all imposing in this.
No, it's not at all. This is a 5-bedroom?
I believe so. I have not been in this house for quite some time.
Sick. Okay, so we got the primary, new bathrooms, paint, carpet, stain the floors, baseboard.
50.
Every time I'm like, $25,000, I'm like, wait, hold on, that's 10 years ago number. Maybe even
Sorry.
5 years ago number.
Back to the future.
Yeah.
Is Landon doing the work or?
Stop.
Well,
his dad. I'll
his
come
dad,
visit
his
again.
dad, and his brother-in-law.
I love your dad.
Oh my gosh.
His brother-in-law is gonna come help out too. It's gonna be great.
No Landon premium for this one?
You think I could rent this house cleaned up for $3,500?
It is pretty big.
There's probably no 5 bedrooms to rent.
Oh, so here's. Oh, and the water heater.
Okay, water heater. There's no sump pump down here, so I
There
can't.
is a sump pump.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes.
So I could get a bathroom down here if I really wanted.
Well, no, it's not brand new. So it's back here, the sump pump.
I do have a bathroom. Yes.
It's
Boom!
not get repaired because it had blown.
Oh,
It's a 3-bath house. Hey, dude,
It's
Landon should have
it's
charged me like
unexpected.
15, $20,000 for a fee, bro. He screwed up.
Oh, this is great. It's tiled too.
What?
It's perfect.
It's mismatched tile though.
It is. There is some French vanilla in there.
You telling secrets?
4 bedrooms.
Okay, so when you had this listed, what were the objections from your buyers? It was just like, we want a house that's done.
It was just outdated. Yeah, outdated and.
Do you, as an agent, when you get a listing like this, you're like, oh, dang it. Like,
No, I mean, to get listings is always like a huge blessing, and we can take it on the cheek. There are things that you're like, oh, navigate that. And we had the conversation when I came in here. She knew it was outdated. She painted the kitchen cabinets upon my recommendation. I was like, just do the tiny little things that can make a big statement. So the stripping of the floors and the painting of the cabinets. Obviously, I'm not going to advise my client to go in and gut out and do all new vanities and things like that.
Yeah.
Especially in her situation.
Right.
It just wouldn't have made sense for her.
So she gets paid $1,000 a month. How cool is that?
It's pretty awesome.
So she's over there with her man friend, just $1,000 a month.
She was very excited at the fact that she was now investing in herself. Like, she took a home that she didn't want to live in anymore and then became
The bank.
Yeah.
She's the freaking bank.
She is the bank. I told her, I was like, you're the bank now. Like, congrats.
Cool.
Wow, look at you. Look what you accomplished. That's so freaking cool. All right, guys, hopefully you've subscribed to the channel. You know how much money we spend to fly up to cities like this, to show you these properties, to show you that this is possible. Subscribe, share this with a friend, and more importantly, click the link down in the description below that gives you the settlement statement. And what I want, by the way, here, come over here. Let's ask Anthony how many listings are expired listings so you guys know that stuck around. Hey, what ended up being the final expired listings?
96 in the last 30 days.
96 in the last 30 days. That's actually 3 a day.
Yeah.
That's
Not
pretty.
bad.
It's considerable
Yeah.
for this small area.
Yeah, for sure. More than I thought it'd be.
What's your Instagram?
Tone-
Tone Fleming.
It's at Tone Fleming Official.
At Tone Fleming Official. Guys, if you're in Kalispell, you're trying to work with agents here, get deals, buy real estate, whether it's traditional or creative finance, Anthony Fleming is an unbelievable human being. Love working with him. Give him some love. Go follow him on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next video.